All right, well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Enter the Farplane. Tonight you have your hosts, Tech Maki and Clay Uzalt. Go ahead and say hi, Clay.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Clay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, tonight we are going to be talking about the past week, and the current week, and, we're going to do some speculation for the future. I'll let Clay start off with, the banner pulls for Final Fantasy Tactics with Delita and Alma and all them.
Okay, so when I did my pulls, overall my pulls for last week were really, really good. I ended up doing I think 4 total 11 pulls. Ended up getting 2 Delitas off of them, which is pretty crazy. Another thing that happened to me though that I thought was quite strange is I only got 1 Gafgarian. And I'm gonna be honest, Tech, I didn't even want Delita. I hate that guy.
I wanted Delita.
You wanted Delita bad and you didn't get him, and I felt bad, man. I would give you all 3 of my Delita if I could, I promise. But I ended up getting 2, and then your pulls weren't as lucky as mine.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, on the plus side, though, one of those units that was there is I got 36 almas during all of my pulls, so I guess that's I guess that's a good consolation. 35 of those equals a single freaking Delita, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, at least for some people, they got a lot of Delitas. I know, you got 3. I think there was another guy who got 2. I've been on the stream for. There's the rate ups were real. I think.
2-1 banner. I got 2-1 banner. 1 off banner.
Oh, okay. It happens, I guess. I think the rare one for everybody besides Delita though was definitely Gafgarion. I mean, I pulled a few of him, but there were some people who really just could not get him.
I was one of them. I only got 1, and I was literally trying to pull Gafgarion and got another Delita. I was like, please go away, Delita. Give me Gafgarion. And the reason I want Gafgarion Tech is that TM is boss. It's going to be boss for a while, too. So,
true.
Definitely amazing.
True. That
especially with plus 30 attack, right, Tech?
Plus 30 attack, plus 15% HP. It's pretty damn boss. It's a beautiful TM no matter who you put it on. Well, no matter what DPS, physical damage dealer you put it on. Or I guess tank. I guess it could work for a tank too. It's actually it's not it's a pretty good replacement for the muscle belt, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it would be for sure, and then it also gives you the plus 30 attack. So that's why I wanted multiples, because you literally could put them on both. I mean, I think in the future I'm gonna be running 2 physical damage dealers. You could replace Hero Ring on both of them, and then replace Muscle Belt for your tank with 2 of them also. So I really wanted 6. I ended up only getting 1. So it's kind of like a feels bad man moment, I guess, in that aspect. But in the end, it's whatever. And then I got a lot of Alma like you got, and her Lordly Robe is gonna be great to get. And I heard that you got to fuse at least 1 Lordly Robe, just fusing a bunch of Alma together. You got 1 instantly, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of awesome. I mean, the Lordly Robe is an amazing TM. It's great for all the magic users, healing or damage dealing. It is a great TM, and I am a proud owner of it, but I think I would have been a proud owner of it. I would have forego being an owner of it right now if I could have just got that Delita. I know a lot of people don't say Delita is amazing, but his Moonblade, I think, is a very underrated TM.
Sure, for sure.
But it is what it is, I guess.
You'll have another chance someday, Tech, as going on to the next thing we're talking about is the newest banner, and I end up getting a rainbow, and it's Delita. So he made a return. He made a triumphant return. At least to me, Delita won't get off my balls. He won't leave me alone. So
he did. Delete, or I'm a little surprised you got Delete instead of Ramza, because I know your luck is pretty effing insane.
It has been.
Yeah, it has been. Until tonight, it was pretty amazing.
Right. So I did 8-11 pulls thanks to donations. Did put some money in there myself, and then we ended up making it 8-11 pulls. Got 1 rainbow out of 8, which is, I think that's still really good luck. I think that's pretty good. And then the rainbow came. I was so hyped, and out pops Delita. Like, what's up? Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what to say, man. Like, I'd like to say that your luck wasn't great, but you still got the same damn unit from the Final Fantasy Tactics banner from last week.
I
Hopefully I can
know.
get one.
And on top of that, I also got a Miyuki. I don't know if you were there for that.
I did. I did see your Miyuki. Congratulations on that.
And a
that
Bart's.
Yeah, and a Bart's. And you have
So
enough
that was-
units for your... You had enough Mustadios, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I only got... I mean, I had just enough. So, just so you guys know, Mustadio and Agrius, the rate-ups are fucking real, at least from what I've seen. So be ready for that. You guys should be able to get Agrius and Mustadio, no problem with some summons. But yeah, I had just enough to where if I took them all, I would get, if I fuse them all together, I'd get one gun, and I already have one right now. I did it right before we did this live thing right here. So I already have a gun ready to throw on my lightning. Tech, you're doing some pulls after this show right here, aren't you?
I am indeed. I will. I have enough right now. I have enough lapis for I think 5 or 4 pulls. And of course, I received some donations that have gone towards it already. Before I even had my bad luck, so that's good. That's good.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the overall scheme of this whole rate up is for the 3 and the 4-star character. And I'm extremely curious as to what happens with Ramza. I know you did a banner review guide on YouTube about Ramza and Agrius. So if you want to go ahead and if you want to just recap what you talked about on there really quick.
Sure. So I'm just gonna go over some quick things here. Mustadio, he's a good unit. He has a great TM. It's a gun attack with high attack. But Mustadio, the best use you can have for him is he's kind of like a full break unit, kind of like a half full break unit. Essentially, he can do full break onto the opponent, but it's going to take 2 moves, an arm shot and leg shot. So if you don't have a full break unit in Agrius, Warrior of Light, or Van, Mustadio is going to do what you need. He's going to break them down. He's going to break down their attack, defense, magic, and spirit in 2 moves. And other than that, that's pretty much his use. We'll go over to Agrius. Agrius is kind of a physical damage dealing support unit in a way for me. She does have a big, heavy hitting move that can confuse the enemy, which I thought was cool. It's a single target big hitting move, big hitting move, and she also has full break. So she's the 3rd unit released into the game to give us full break. So essentially, to pull in this banner, in my opinion, you're going to want to have you're going for Ramza, being a collector, or you really need full break. And this is going to be the banner to finally get full break on your team in one way or another, either through Mustadio doing 2 moves or Agrius actually having full break. And then Ramza, baby, the big bad dude. I mean, I just wanted Ramza. He's awesome. He has a lot of great moves. He even has Ultima. But I really just wanted Ramza due to his singing ability, Hero's Rhyme, because essentially it sits him down. It's a very unique ability where I think the way it works is he'll sit there and he'll sing for 3 turns. He won't do anything else, but it's going to boost up your attack, defense, magic, and spirit by a fuck ton. And he just does that. And I really wanted to see that in action. So I'm really hoping you pull him so I can watch him on the stream, or maybe I can pull him off this coming week. But overall, this banner seems pretty nice. It seems pretty nice for people who don't have full break units. If you do have a full break unit, you're pretty much just going for Ramza unless you're a collector. So those are my thoughts on it, Tech.
True. All right. Sounds good. I mean, I also think that for our free-to-play players, this is actually not a bad banner because Mustadio being, I think Mustadio is the 3-star one, right? He is the I think the most accessible for everybody, and he has a lower form of full break for everybody else. So for those who are doing free to play, they have really good access to having a full break unit, or at least a form of a full break unit. So I think that's really cool that they actually most of the tactics people seem to be. I think they more all fall into a support type thing in a way, with their utilities. Like that, yeah. So it's kind of cool that they did that. This is really a support heavy banner, even if you have people that can do damage, and it's very good for
from tactics. You know a lot about tactics, right?
Yes, I do.
Is there anybody in tactics that you would is there anybody in tactics that you would be like, that guy just does damage? That's Orlando, right?
Orlando.
So that's what we're waiting for the big bad hitting guy from Tactics. Actually, just kind of put that together. So Orlando, when he comes out, he's actually in the game when you got Orlando, was he just OP?
Yeah, you pretty much got Orlando, and the rest of the game was essentially a cakewalk, as long as you didn't get him surrounded too badly. But Orlando, I mean, being the Sword Saint, he just went around and he just destroyed people. That's what his job was in Tactics, and that's what his job is in this game.
In this
Just
game, yeah,
destroy
for sure.
people. So
Yeah.
it'll be nice. It'll be nice when we can get Orlando. He's another 6-star somewhere down the road. I guess that kind of leads up to one of the other things we were going to talk about, but we'll wait on that one.
Okay.
Let's talk about the actual the event that's going on right now. The event going on right now is the Monastery Final the War of the Lions type thing, whatever we're calling this thing.
Right.
And it's like the mod cake thing, which we talked about last week. How are you spending your aura site?
So once I obtained, so the first thing I did was rush out a 6-star lightning. So I got the 6-star materials for my lightning. Not everybody got a 6-star unit, but I did that in order to try to help people on my friends list. And obviously, it's the first 6-star. We're going to rush for that. And then after that, I bought summoning tickets because I think anytime they offer you summoning tickets, and essentially for free, I put that in air quotes, but they're essentially for free. You want to take advantage of that because getting units in this game, that's pretty much what the game is about, summoning. And anytime they can let you summon for free, you want to take advantage of that. Then ended up pulling Delita, went ahead and got his 6-star. So before the summoning tickets, actually, I need to interrupt myself there. I kind of forgot. I did get the Chiri Gerardin. Is that how you say it, Tech? Chiri Gerardin?
Chiri Gerardin, yes. Chiri Gerardin. Yeah.
Chiri Gerardin. I did get that katana. It is a great katana. I think it's the second best in the game compared to Miyuki, and it has fire on it. So I definitely got that. Then I got my summoning tickets. Then I got 6-star materials for Delita, and then now I'm going to be working for Delita's TM, or not his TM, but his materia. How about yourself?
I'm pretty much buying every damn thing in this event for multiple reasons. But I mean, like everyone knows, I am a collector of the units in the game. I like having a full roster of everybody whenever my wife, who shows up and I can get her like you did today. Maybe you can put in a good word for for me. Maybe Miyuki will finally come up. But then there's. Please, have a little conversation with this woman. Tell her I got candy, bro. Tell her I got candy. Freaking, but yeah, I'm a big collector of the units, and eventually eventually everyone's going to get something. Like if you have, the odds are you're going to pull one of these guys eventually. It just has to happen. Even if that's a year from now, you will do it. And the way I see it is, everyone is speculating that once this event is done, the material that's being sold in there, was it Medicate and even Stone Throw, which is probably a joke. I haven't tried it yet. But even, is it Stone Throw or is it Stone? It's Stone something, right? I think it's Stone Throw. Either way, all of these TMs, or not TMs, all of these materia are just, they're only available in this event, as far as we know. And, they like doing that. They're not really releasing the Gravity Rod for any time soon. So even if it does come back out, it might come back out until next year sometime. So what happens in the meantime when you get a Delita or a Ramza, Agrius, and, you want to use these skills that are available in there? You might not. Who knows? But what if you want to? What if you're that completionist that really wants to have these skills? And... so I'm all about that. I'm gonna buy everything. I got all the star quartz, the tickets. Got the Chirijardan. I think that's how it's said.
There you go. There you go. You did it.
I got the Esushian. I think that's how that one said. And I think
I'm gonna have to get that too.
Yeah, it's
in
only
my
400
video. I said it wasn't the best. I said it wasn't the best, but with the Undead Killer and the possibility of a Halloween event coming with Undead, probably bad guys, I think it's good to grab. And I didn't know it was only 400 aura sites to get and make. That was insanely low compared to everything else, right? It was 400, you said?
Oh, yeah, 400 aura site compared to...
That's crazy. That's like 4 runs of Elite.
Yeah.
3,600 something, I think.
There you go. Yeah, something like that. So, it's low. It's one of the lowest things you can get in there, besides, the tickets and the original, I want to say the first 6 tickets are extremely low. The first 6 star quartz extremely low, and then it's 1,200 for a ticket after that. So I would get these things. I am going to
Well,
get these things.
here's something we have to, like, some of our viewers may need to kind of think about. So Pro is giving, I mean, Elite is giving you a lot of rank experience, but Pro is giving you even more. And then on top of that, the advanced exploration, the Magicite that you can get from that thing to level up your Espers are insane, and you can bank those Magicite for later. You know what I mean?
This is true.
So maybe some people just like obviously there are completionists like you. There are people like me who are just going to grab the best things they personally believe. But then you also have to think the event is only going on for like another week, maybe even less than that. So I definitely want to get in there and grab as much Magicite as I can from the advanced exploration, which most viewers should be able to do right now because it drops a ton of Megacite. And you can level up all your Espers real quick, like farm it for a couple days, level up your Espers really quick, and then you start banking more in the, in your item slots, your material slots, things like that, for your future Espers in the future, like Carbuncle, things like that. So those are other things you have to consider.
This is true. I mean, I do plan after I get as much, because I think what I'm going to do right now, there is no cap on 6-star materials, and I know in the JP version, every event that they have 6-star materials available, it'll be the price that it is right now, and then after you get your, like, I think 2 sets of 6-star materials, that shit goes extremely high. And then, it's almost impossible to buy more mats after that. So this would be an optimal time to get as many 6-star mats as you can, even if it's just even if it's the cheapest one. Get as many as you can, stock up on these things. Even though personally I would get full sets, like you work your way down the list, and get all 6 of them. But yeah, definitely the for the exploration, that's gold, man. That's platinum.
It is.
It's beautiful for Megacite.
It is. It so is, man.
But on the other side, this is a really good time for all the new players to get in there and start ranking up their EXP as well.
For sure.
Get that rank up.
Rank experience.
Yep. It really is one of the best times to do this. I mean, I personally, I think from when it started until now, I've got about 8 or 9 rank levels. So I think I'm seeing either rank 77 or rank 78.
Right, and that's you being a high rank. Like, just think about these low ranking people. If they have the ability to do this pro or this elite mode, they're going to get so much. They're going to level up even faster. And leveling up gives more energy, which gives you more. You know what I mean? Like, so you level up, replenish your energy. You get to run in, get more rank experience, level up again sometime this week. You keep leveling up more energy. This event was just all around probably the best event we've had so far, hands down.
I completely agree. Completely agree. It's essentially, it combines everything that you want. Well, not everything. I think the Enchanted Maze also has some really good things too, but it does combine a lot of elements that you can have. You can level your Espers, which wasn't possible in the Enchanted Maze. You can level your rank, which was semi-possible, but not like this. You just doing the elite dungeon, if you can accomplish that, that's 800 rank EXP right off the bat. I don't remember what pro is because I haven't ran it consistently yet. But
it's just
yeah,
per energy event, so it's not that bad.
There you go. So I mean, it is truly a beautiful event. You just need to find where you can fit in and just keep on going. And the beauty about leveling up your rank during this event is, the lapis that you have, unless you're a massive whale or something, you can, like, it's a finite amount that you'll have per month. If you're doing paycheck to paycheck type thing, and if you're a free-to-play player, your lapis is limited to how much Gumi is allowing you to have. So, leveling up your rank makes your lapis that much more valuable because, like, right now they're selling those 99-cent energy packs. I think it gives you 60 energy per pack. Like, every day you can buy one, 99 cents.
Yeah.
So up until when you hit, like, once you hit rank 50, you no longer need to buy those packs. You can just focus solely on your lapis. And then you can get more than what the 60 energy packs are even worth, because I think the lowest pack you can get is 99 cents, which is 120 lapis or something like that. Which that already makes it more valuable than the 60 or 99-cent energy pack, So you buy 5 of the 5 lapis compared to 5 energy, you're spending less. So that's my thing on that one.
And then there's another thing about the event that they did, which I don't know if it was on purpose or what, but I think it took the community by storm, was teaching all the global players how to do elemental chains and what exactly an elemental chain was. Because in the future, that's going to be very important for defeating bosses. You need to maximize your damage the best you can with the units you have. And learning and learning how to use an elemental chain and I would say an easy setting, because essentially this event, you want to knock out those bosses before they can even do anything to you. So like you learn, you like, as long as you hit your elemental chain, you're going to win the battle, right? As long as your team's right, that's how you build your team. In the future, you're going to have to hit that elemental chain, then you're going to have some shit coming back at you that you're going to have to worry about and think about, what my next move is. But this was a kind of a great icebreaker for going in and teaching the players how to use elemental chaining for real.
True.
It's pretty
true. It's also been a very useful tool to teach people how to use their espers correctly as well.
True. Yep.
Like Diablos being the topic for a lot of discussion. Diablos having Mankiller was perfect for this event. When the event came out and Diablos released with it, you had a good way of building a character like that could just crush everything, just one shot it by itself. Yeah. Which also goes, it stops people from learning the elemental chains. But if you have a character that can just dominate the game, does it really matter if you learn elemental chains at this stage? Maybe not. But it was still a useful tool either way. And of course, I just lost my train of thought. It was about Diablos being a man killer, and he just, he's just crushing things, man. Like Kamashi's damn lightning just going in there and eating things, and your lightning. My lightning, not so much, but we're getting there,
Yeah, you're getting there for sure. Yeah. I mean, yours could do it though, right?
Mine can do it with full break. Yeah, mine can almost do it.
Did you equip Enhancer and Churi
I didn't. When I'm still running my Excaliburs.
Right. So that's what I was saying. Like, you possibly could do it in one shot if you just took the Excaliburs off, because, I mean, I think your lightning's pretty dope. So I think it would be able to do it. But that's whatever. I mean, I was really reluctant to taking my Excaliburs off too, Tech. I didn't want to do it. I was like, nope. Can't make me. No. I'm not doing like Excalibur. I'm not taking them off.
I think the difference is, though, you have Blade Mastery. In case...
Oh, you don't have Blade Mastery.
Yeah, I don't have Blade Mastery. For those who don't know, Blade Mastery is a material that you get from Chizuru that increases all katana damage by 50%. I'm sorry, not all katana damage, but it increases your primary katana damage by 50%, right? Or your first katana. So it automatically ups specific katanas over what Excalibur would do. And if you're using like Chiri Jaradin, or say Sakura Fubuki, yes, I slowed down because I can't say it correctly. If you're using one of those two, it automatically puts that katana pretty much over what Excalibur can do. Plus, with Excalibur, the enemies, I think it's the last, or the stage 5 boss and the stage 3 boss, or it's the stage 4 boss, I can't remember. They are resistant to light damage, which automatically makes Excalibur do less damage.
And that's something I want to discuss too, which I wasn't even thinking of, Tech. That worries me for the future. We're getting all these great weapons, but they have elements on them, and you might think that's awesome because of the elemental chain we can doing, but like, how many bosses in the future are we going to have, or enemies that are going to be light resistant or dark resistant, to making these awesome TMs not useless, but way less as good as maybe other options? For example, I can't even put double Excalibur on my girl and one-shot it. I have to put Enhancer on her to be able to do it. So you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me.
No, you're right. I think, as far as I remember, there are a lot of people who talk about the whole like Orlando thing, and Orlando becomes an amazing thing, or an amazing character, because with Excalibur equipped, he can then utilize his light or holy skills to its fullest. And so I think that there are a bunch of bosses later on down the road that do have weakness to light, or they're dark based enemies. So it should be okay, but definitely mix and match. Like I don't think you should always lock yourself into a single thing. Like I'm using Excalibur during the entire event just because I'm too damn lazy to attempt to try different stuff. My team can essentially destroy Elite without having to switch too much. So, but for you went and changed some gear just so you could just one shot it with that single character. And I think that's good because it teaches people to experiment with builds. Instead of just being locked into a specific set. There's some gear pieces that you can have on your characters, like Black Cowl. If you can get Hayate's TM, that is like the best headpiece for a DPS. But you can also experiment with other gear choices to see if maybe you can maximize a specific stat, kind of like the Asushion, or whatever the hell it's called, the shield from this damn event.
Yeah.
The undead killer, right? The undead killer doesn't seem all that
Yeah.
useful, but you were just mentioning the Halloween event that's coming up. If everything in the
Yeah.
Halloween event is undead, and you can stack undead killer on someone that has decent damage, you'll be doing even more damage on it because it may not be the
Right.
best shield, but it has a stat
It's
on it.
just the shield. The reason I am against that shield is that I just don't know who are you putting that shield on tech. Okay, let's say the Halloween event comes out. They're all zombies. They're all undead. It's time to fight them. Who are you putting that shield on your team?
I will probably putting it on Warrior Light because, but by that point, I hope in the next 20 something days I can TM grind like a madman and get another Excalibur, and then I will stick that on my Warrior Light. And with the Warrior Light, it may not be the absolute best option, to increase his damage, but since he's already low damage to begin with, but he can do some pretty good damage if you set him up correctly.
Yeah.
Plus, any little bit that you can add to someone who doesn't do a lot, you can just slap it on them, and he's going to get 100% extra damage. So
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense. That's good.
But,
yeah.
but that's my.
I would do the same thing. I would put him on my Warrior Blade also.
Okay.
I just don't like. I guess would make full break do more damage, but then after that, I'm probably using things like provoke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the event's probably. I don't know. Like, it's just like, how hard is the event going to be? Are you going to have to use provoke? Are you going to be able to just full break and then just auto attack or use other ones of his abilities to make the undead killer better?
Right.
It's just strange to put that on a shield, and for me. And I know it's obvious, like you just said, and you taught me to put it on your Warrior of Light, do things like that. But is that like where I want an undead killer? I don't know, right? I don't know. Do you want it like it's not the optimal part? And also, again, it's just 400 or a slate, so it's whatever. But for me, it's just really strange to put an undead killer on a shield when like shields are supposed to go on tanks. It kind of seems like weird. Like, why did they make that shield like that? I don't know.
Right.
It would be better served having like auto protect or something on it instead of just a killer ability.
Mm-hmm,
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, I can understand that, but I mean, when I think when I had an Excalibur on my Warrior Light before I stuck it on Lightning, he was doing about say I think 6,000 damage, and that was to regular enemies. So with his natural undead killer, he's doing about 9,000 damage, and with the shield undead killer, he would be doing 12,000 damage. So 12,000 is better than 6,000, right?
It's true.
I mean,
it's true.
Essentially it's essentially him getting an extra turn. So, I mean,
okay.
Go ahead.
Are you farming Leo's shield?
I am.
It's TM.
Yes.
So, I don't know, man. It's just like I'm arguing nothing here essentially, but I'm just talking out. Just talking what's on my mind. Like, I would just never put that shield on my tank if I needed a tank, and then if I don't need a tank, why am I running Warrior of Light? That's what I'm saying. So in this event, I'm not running a tank on my team, right? Well, I mean, he's there because I'm trying to level up Cecil, but like, you don't need it. Most people are just running all mages. So let's say the undead killer ability is useful.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be running a tank? Like, and if you do need to run a tank, you're going to be running more defense, health, things like that, stats on your tank rather than undead killer. So you are correct in what you're saying. Like, every little bit helps. 6,000 is weaker than 12,000, and the math you did there, which is awesome. But in the end, it just seems like a weird item they made. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, do me, why did you make this item? Like, what is the point of it?
I'm not going to disagree. It's weird placement for the undead killer itself but I think it's situational. Kind of like how we had which we're going to probably rehash in a little bit about the whole Esper thing. Espers are situational on during certain times, certain events, certain fights. It can be situation as to who you put your Esper on. Like, I personally wouldn't put Diablos on my main physical attack users because stat wise, the mages would get a better benefit from it. But during this event, I have Diablos on Lightning because she just kills it with Diablos. Like my Lightning might not be able to crush the entire thing, but she gets everybody close to dead, if not killing two of them outright. Without Diablos on, she does like half that damage. Well, 3/4, whatever. So, I do think that the shield might have been more. It's more of a situational piece than it is this is what you're always going to run on this character.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we'll definitely see later on. And I think that's good for them to put items in there like that become good during certain times.
Yeah, true.
But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So,
what were you gonna say?
Well, I mean, I was gonna say like I know there's a difference between the gravity rod and the shield. Obviously, the gravity rod took an arm and a leg, and then 6,000,000 energy to farm and get one. But the backlash from the community on that gravity rod was outstanding. Like it's just like everybody hated it, everybody hated the event, and then we get the shield. Everybody's like, I guess because it costs less, but it's like I don't know, man. It's like why like. I think they wasted a slot in there. Like, I don't know. I'm just against it. Like I wish they would have put a better item in there, something more useful. So that's all. I'm done after that. I'm done. I'm out.
I hear what you're saying. I need to comment. The Gravity Rod event, right, was I think the main reason everyone there was so much backlash on it was because the amount of grindiness it required for a subpar weapon compared to the amount of effort you're putting in, right? Mm-hmm. The shield itself, it's only 4 runs of Elite or 8 runs of Pro. So it's really not that big of a deal, like you're getting something for anybody who can only run say it's a brand new player, they're going to be able to get some star quartz maybe, they'll get some tickets, and then they're going to be farming their ass off on near the lowest levels of difficulty to get anything. And so for a new player, at least they can walk out with a shield, right?
Yeah.
So
that's true. That's very true. I can see that. I guess they do have to help new players now. That actually makes a lot of sense, Tech, and it changed my views on it a little bit there. So yeah, okay, for sure.
Okay. But all right. So let's since we're already talking about Diablos and all that, what we were gonna have a small little debate about Diablos, and I think this might even extend into Shiva, because we had last night. I think we had a little argument about Shiva especially, but let's talk about Diablos. What are you actually doing with Diablos? Like, who do you plan on really using this dude on?
Diablos, in my opinion, will be either on my second physical damage dealer or my support. That's the way I'm going to look to use him.
Okay, so you're not using him on your mage at all? None of your mages. Okay. But, I mean, I think also, before I even get into this also depends solely on your party makeup. What is your party makeup? What is your team that's going in to crush shit?
If I had a main team that was coming out, it would be Delita, Lightning, Lena, Warrior of Lights, and see how many did I say there? And Kefka. Excuse me, I had to say my mage and Kefka. Okay. So yeah.
So for you, it would make sense to put it on them, on your second highest physical damage dealer. So at least maybe they can get extra. They have more killer abilities.
They have more killer abilities, and he also has a little bit of attack on him to try to help.
A little bit, plus 14. But anyway.
Plus 14 total?
Yes.
They actually get 14 if you get all the attack nodes?
I think you might get 16 if you get all the attack nodes.
That sounds pretty damn good, Tech.
I mean, I guess. I mean,
the attack stat, we know the attack stat gets buffed up pretty big.
Now I'm gonna have to pull up. Now I'm gonna have to pull up the damn BE and go to the Espers. But so essentially, this is where our argument actually started to spur from last night. I don't know if any of y'all know about Shiva. All right, Shiva is everybody's been using Shiva, I think, on a mage up until this point, and this is, I think, where everyone starts to diverge. Maybe not everybody was using Shiva on a mage. I don't know. I personally was not using my Shiva on a mage. I was putting Shiva on my healer. And Clay, why is that?
Why were you putting Shiva on a healer?
Why was I putting Shiva on a healer?
Because essentially Shiva, once you put it on somebody, Shiva only gives you 1 more magic, and Shiva will give you 25 spirit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was my thing. You get a pretty good jump in your spirit compared to, say, Diablos, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was my whole thing for the difference between using Shiva on a healer because of the spirit thing. I look at Shiva more as a support Esper, in that aspect, because she's not mainly focused only on magic, so she can be in different areas. How do you feel about Shiva?
I think Shiva goes on your second best mage if you're running 2 mages, man. If you guys didn't know, Tech and I had this discussion last night, and we had a friend in there with us talking with us, and we did a lot of testing to see what the hell Spirit actually does. And at the end of the day, we still don't know what Spirit does besides magic resist, man. Literally, we took all of our spirit off of our Lenas, healed for a little less, put it all back on, healed only for a little bit more, and we're talking mad numbers. We're talking like 200 spirit. And then we take a little bit off, and the healing would be the same. We have no idea exactly what the spirit and the magic to the healing factor of a support does. So in the end, Tech was right when he said, yeah, Shiva gives 25 spirit to someone as opposed to just the one magic you get. But the 25 spirit is just nothing. It's not. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. We tried it. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. We honestly don't know what the hell spirit does for healing in general. I'm actually under the impression that, like, I know there's a thread on Reddit about the difference between like one attack. And somebody did the math, and it seemed like, adding one attack becomes a huge difference. But is adding one magic that big of a difference?
Yeah,
is adding one spirit that much of a difference? So
right.
I'm thinking that they go by tiers. So if you cross a certain threshold, kind of like how they've done in other FFs, if you cross a certain threshold of your numbers, your maybe your healing goes up that much more.
Right.
But who the fuck knows? Because
right.
we could not settle our argument yesterday.
We couldn't because the testing didn't come through. Yeah. I mean, spirit is also like your whole point was that the 25 spirit is giving your healer some magic resist to make them live more, but then again, we have no way. The game doesn't give us any tooltips to understand what exactly the spirit is giving us in terms of magic resist. How much is it actually helping us? And then we have to do the math, as the guy did on attack, how much that one magic actually does give our mages. So in the end, it's something we can't really. I don't know.
I'm looking at the chat for the podcast here, and Kamashi, our resident lightning killer, says that 2 spirit gets you +1 HP. +1. I don't even know if that's accurate. Really, I can't even say if that's accurate, because it just doesn't. I don't know. I didn't see much of a difference. The numbers were almost identical on the amount of spirit that you got, and if that was the case, my Lena, which is a 315 spirit, I don't understand how when I went to 138 or some shit, or 183 or whatever the hell the number was, without any gear, without any spirit material on, you'd think that the amount of spirit that you would have got would have just been insane, just straight up insane.
Exactly. Yeah,
but it wasn't. Not at all. Not even close. So
there's that.
Yeah,
we'll have to work on it later.
We will, but I still think Diablo should go on a mage. Anyway.
Alright.
But I mean, my team...
Okay, so if Diablo's supposed to go on a mage, who are you putting on your physical damage dealer? Your second one.
I don't have a second one. If you're running 2 physical damage dealers, are you running a tank? That's the big question. If you're not running a tank, then I would put Golem on. Golem has the next highest... He has the next highest physical damage. And he also does get some killer abilities, too. We have to assume
that people will run a tank. Okay. Right? Because in the future, tanks are going to be needed for people like the Gilgamesh trial, things like that. So that's where my mind goes, is Gilgamesh. Because for some reason, the Gilgamesh trial is like the time when I think I'm going to have struggle in this game. It seems like one of the hardest trials. So I think you're going to need a tank, and I think Golem's going to be stuck there. So maybe by that time, we'll have Titan, and then this whole discussion won't be needed because... Again, in the end, actually, I'm going to cut it off. In the end, Espers are fucking situational, and once Magic and 25 Spirit will have to be settled another day.
it will be settled another day. You're absolutely right. You're done with it. I'm essentially done with it too. I think it's not only just situational as to what you're fighting, but it's situational as to what type of setup you have. If you're running specific characters, specific types of groups, do whatever the hell you want. I'm not even going to say there's a specific way you should build your freaking Esper, because there's a lot of debate between getting stats and getting skills. I think getting some skills are good, getting stats are important. But it all depends on how much the stats are going to bring up your overall 1% of their total damage. So whatever, We didn't get to prove anything on that one. So let's talk about this. What's that damn? We have a Halloween event coming up, right?
Yeah. Well, what happened was they released an interview a while ago about the game. Essentially, in this interview, they talked about how Lightning was coming really, really soon. Boom, Lightning hits. They talked about PvP in the future, balancing things between global and Japanese, how the global version will be different. We will get our own exclusive exclusive units, and some of the Japanese exclusive units won't come to us. And then they said there will be a Halloween event for global that will be similar to the Valentine Day event or something like that for the Japanese version. However, I don't even know what the Valentine Day event was. But they also mentioned how like exclusive units could be there, similar to how, like, if you guys remember recently in the Japanese version, Bikini Finna, Bikini Lid, things like that. So maybe we'll get like Haunted Lena. Or not, Finna, excuse me, Finna. So, like, Haunted, we could get, like, Haunted Rain, even. Like, I don't know what we're gonna get if we do, but it makes me excited because Halloween is, like, my favorite. Anything Halloween, orange, jack-o'-lanterns, orange and black color mix, that's really attractive to me, so I'm super excited about it.
I agree, and I'm also looking forward to the Halloween-specific gear we'll get, because I know, like, I play a lot of Record Keeper,
yeah,
and every year they do something, cool for like five-star giveaways and whatnot, and I'm kind of wondering what they're gonna do for gear. Are we gonna have like Halloween themed shit, like a jack-o'-lantern helmet, like what what are they gonna give us? And I'm also curious to see how the event itself will work.
Right, because a lot of people are like, the way we can think about it is, are they bringing back mod cakes? And I'm not talking about you're going to make mod cakes. You're going to make fucking mod cookies or Halloween jack-o'-lantern cookies or Halloween candies. Mm-hmm. Now, I hope it's like the Aura Site. I hope they don't take us back to crafting. I hope it's like Aura Site, and essentially you collect Halloween candies, and then you turn the Halloween candies into King Mog, just like Aura Site, and then boom, that's how the event's going to run. But God help me, Tech, if I got to bake any more candies or cookies.
I don't I just don't want to craft anything like that. Like,
yeah, me either.
Chiri Jaredin, right? 3 days on waiting to get the weapon after you finally accumulated enough Auracite to make the damn thing. Like, unless you went straight out the gate to get this weapon, you weren't getting it for like another 2 days, just getting the Auracite for it. And then you had to wait 3 days unless you went and smashed the 300 or 200, depending on when you did it, unless you spent the lapis to finish making this thing immediately. I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to wait 3 days to get something. Just like the Shining Splendor thing, man. Like, I got to craft 16 fine blades. Then I got to craft like 3 of the other ones. I can't even remember what those damn things were called. Just to make a Shining Splendor. After that crafts for like another 2 days or some stupidness, Like, why? Why, man?
I'm not exactly sure why they do that. Like, if we think about it, like, it's just adding 3 days before you get your samurai sword, your katana. Like, why are they adding that? It might be they're forcing us to learn crafting. Maybe they're trying to make crafting a thing all characters use. Because, I mean, if you think about it, without the exception of hero rings, when are you ever going to craft tech? If you didn't have these crafting things, would you ever craft? Besides hero rings.
The only reason I even craft now is solely to get those trophies for the 500 lapis. That's the only reason I do crafting, and even then, it's very slim.
There are like the tiger mask, the belt bucky, muscle belts. Like, these are things that we can craft, but I mean, for like the normal down root player, maybe they're not going to craft those. They're just not going to know. And so I think the event was like, hey, this is how crafting works. Maybe they were like, here, this is how you work. But other than that, like, I have no idea, man.
I completely agree, man. I mean, crafting is a cool thing. It really is. But if they wanted to make crafting cool in this game, because I play Final Fantasy 14 as well, and I am a deep crafter in that game, like deep.
I never understood how that worked, by the way. It's like,
I love it.
Like, I tried to learn, and I would just have a little freaking piece of lumber out, and I'd have a saw, and it would break, and then I'd never make my item. I'd be like, what the fuck? How do I do this? I don't know how to make items in this game.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, the hero belt, yes. The hero ring, I think someone also mentioned the muscle belt at one point. I think that is that's also a useful thing. Up until you get to, what's his name's TM. If you can get Gathgarion's TM, you don't need muscle belts. So, I mean, there's some items that are very useful to continue making, that they put in the game, specifically under crafting. But why do I craft for an event when I'm already, like, why do I have to craft when I'm grinding? I'm already grinding. Why am I crafting? But
anticipation. So you just log in and look and be like, I have 2 days and 13 hours left until I get my katana. Yay!
I completely agree, man. I completely agree. I just think, I just hope for the Halloween event. Like, I hope for one. I kind of wish that they would have some of the difficulty they had in this one. Granted, lightning. If you have lightning
True.
friends on your freaking list, this event was a cakewalk for you. If their lightnings were at least like I would say 500. If they're 500, you should be able to make up the difference to clear elite. You know what I mean? And I hope they do something like that. This event, even though it's grind intensive, it was kind of fun for me. So
how would you feel? I'll do a setup for my Halloween event for you. How would you feel if they had pro and elite? They had the same thing, pro and elite. But this time, elite, it's not something you grind actually. You'll go back to pro and grind for the Halloween candies. But elite, you would get an item. One item, so you would have to craft here. It's like you would have to craft in this scenario, but that one item. Oh no, we won't even make it an item you have to craft. That's the one item in the store. You can't buy this item from the Mod King except for this exclusive item. So it would be like a rare candy, let's say. So normally you could buy star quartz, whatever else is in this shop for the candies, right? The golden tickets for the candies. But if you could beat elite, you get a rare candy, and that rare candy allows you to get an awesome item. It could be a materia, helmet, equipment, whatever. But elite is freaking hard. Like, it's not for the faint of heart. Like, so my lightning couldn't carry somebody through it. Or, for example, you just have to have a well-rounded team, so the top players are the only ones who can get it. Like, is that something you think they'll ever do, Tech? Or, like, because,
I kind of hope they do. I kind of hope they do. Granted, I know there are going to be plenty of people probably hate on me on this one, because this will also be into extreme favor of, like, the super whales out there.
Whales.
But if they are willing to drop the money for it, I think that, sure, why the hell not give them a challenge worth their time?
Right, give them a challenge, reward them. Now, and that's what I'm saying. Like, pro could be where you get the most candy, you get rank experience. You're getting that stuff. The elite could be that challenge, that the show that you like. I mean, there's a lot of time you put in this game. It doesn't matter how much money. Like, obviously, you can put a lot of money in this game and be a top dog. But I mean, how much time have we also put in the game? And I know other people have too. But there should be, in my opinion, that should happen, like you say, Tech. And if people can't get it, I just don't think they should be upset, because they can get a lot of good stuff from pro. But there should be elite to show, like, hey, I did this. I was good enough to do this. Even if you guys want to say it's super pay to play, you have lightning. There is strategy involved in the game. Later, Gilgamesh isn't just I have a lot of units, hit barrage, kill him. He will fuck you up. So there are things that we're going to get later that do require strategy, no matter how good your units are. So that's what I'm waiting for in this game. And maybe we can get that with this Halloween event, but I'm not sure, because maybe the Halloween event will be a more fun event to let everybody celebrate and have fun. So
it's quite possible. I kind of hope there's whenever they make an event, I hope that there's a challenge involved in the event. I always hope that they do something for the hardcore group where they just want to crush some crazy content. Will they do that? Probably not. But it would be nice. It would be very nice to see that. But I do see, like, seasonal events, I always think of them as, like, fun time events, So, we'll see how that goes. We'll definitely see how that goes.
So, Tech, let's put up a timeline for what's going to happen here. So,
okay.
Yeah, so our banner will last until next Friday. Then what happens, in your opinion, Tech?
After that, you're talking about banner pull type thing, or event that's going to happen?
Like that.
I think the next event will either be they're probably. I know the Enchanted Maze is coming back sometime. Well, actually, we already had this is October, so yeah, the Enchanted Maze should be making a return sometime this month. Will it be this soon? I don't know. I think it's going to be one more week after this, and then they'll do the Enchanted Maze. It'll probably run into when the new story content comes in, or it'll be around when that gets released. But I think for banners, I think the next one's probably going to be the Final Fantasy 13 banner, or it's going to be the Brave Frontier banner, because we kind of got shuffled around here. The banner that we had, what was it? The Crystal Defender banner. That one came out in the wrong order according to when it got released in Japan. So we were like it was supposed to go. Yeah, it was supposed to be Brave Frontier and then Crystal Defenders collab afterwards, and it looks like they got reversed. That's
what it seems like to me too.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that the Brave Frontier banner is coming sooner than later, and I think the 13 event with Snow, Saz, Vanille, Hope, and your next turn at getting Lightning again is definitely coming. So if you haven't got that Lightning, and you don't want Ramza, and you don't want Delita, which you can't get them. Well, I guess you can, according to Clake's pulls. You can get Delita still. So I mean, I think that this is your next
Kamashi
big
drew
shot.
Kamashi drew a lightning off of this banner. That's how lucky he is.
Of course, yeah, there he is. There he is. He's getting lightning all year round. But yeah, I think that's the next banner that's coming up. It's either BF or 13. Event wise, the Halloween event's definitely gonna be at the end of the month. If anything, it's probably gonna be around when the patch drops. So it'll either be that week of or the week following. I'd have to look at the actual calendar to see which one comes first.
It's just, I don't know how many weeks they're going to give us for the Final Fantasy 13 banner, because I think on the Japanese version for the Tactics event, they only gave them a week, and then for the Final Fantasy 13, they gave them 2 weeks. So I'm not sure what they're thinking. And Halloween the same, right? So they're going to have the Halloween event. If they're doing it, they could, obviously, their PR team could have been like, yeah, we're totally doing a Halloween event. Oops. And it doesn't happen. That happens all the time. But if they're going to do it, they're going to have to start it by the 21st. So in 2 weeks, they're going to have to at least give us a week to farm, because Halloween's on the 31st, so I don't know, at least a week, and then have the turn-ins go for the rest of the week. So maybe on the 14th, which is next Friday, we get the Final Fantasy 13 banner and the event. The event runs for a week, and then we have the Halloween event, or they just skip the 13 until next month. That's 2 weeks without events. If let's say on the 14th we get the Brave Frontier banner. Okay, so this is the way it can actually work. It's looking. Next week we get the Brave Frontier banner for a week. On the 21st, Halloween event with a Halloween banner for a week, and then it hits the 31st. Halloween's over. Halloween event is over, and then maybe the Final Fantasy 13 will be after that. That's my best guess.
That sounds actually pretty reasonable. I can probably get down with that. That sounds like a decent plan actually. Because I really don't think they're going to put the 13 banner so soon after they just did the other banner. The Lightning banner, and Ludmilla and Charlotte. I definitely think that there's going to be a little time in between those, because now we have 6 stars coming back to back. People are dropping major fucking dollars on this game. They got to give people some time to recover. You know what I mean? So even if it's Brave Frontier, which is cool, I'm not knocking the characters on it, but I don't think there's only one character on that banner which everyone is truly hyped for. So yeah, whereas this banner, people were hyped for Ramza, they were hyped for freaking Agrius. Some might have been hyped for Mustadio. I'm a big fan of Mustadio, so I'm slightly hyped for him. And then, but the banner before that, we had just Lightning, right? So, but everyone was hyped for that because it was the first 6-star, and it made the game according to the JP timeline. This Lightning character at 6-star, geared up correctly, or even decently, should carry you through the next 3 to 4 months of content. I think they'd be shooting themselves in the foot unless they did something gimmicky, like you're saying with a Halloween Fina or Halloween Ramza, Loswell, whatever. Maybe they'll put Loswell
Halloween Sora. A man can dream. A Halloween Sora. Come on, a man can dream.
Halloween Sora, I could dig that.
Imagine.
I could definitely dig that shit. I could dig a Halloween Sora.
All right, Sek. I think it's time. Time for Q&A, buddy. What do you think?
All right, yeah, let's do that. All right, let's. We're gonna go ahead and open up the floor to Q&A. Let's get our first question in. We're gonna wait until somebody has one. Let's do this. And don't ask about VivBot. No questions about VivBot.
No questions about VivBot. Hi, I'm 12. What is this? This is Minecraft.
Yep.
Next question.
Next question. Agrius or Van better to 5-star? Yes.
Honestly, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them are definitely better.
They're going to both be used in different situations.
Yeah. How do you deal with daily reward resets when you TM farm at night? After 3 runs, the stupid quest complete window pops up. So there's this wasn't the question I was looking forward to, but we will answer this one. Really simple. You're going to do one of two things. When the event pops up, do not do your TM farming at night if you want to set up this thing, or you can guesstimate before you do it. But in the morning, after reset, check out where the damn thing is and mark it on your screen. And then, like, piece of tape, of course. I'm not telling you, like, use a Sharpie or something. I want to make sure I'm
going to Sharpie my monitor because
do not Sharpie your monitor.
Thanks, Dad.
But definitely mark the screen, even if you have to put, like, a little window just to say where it is. And during your clicks, make sure that that's where you select your Friends unit. So it should go Earth Shrine, Friends unit should be around the same position except off to the left a little bit. And then you're going to click that spot. So then when the daily quest, your completion of the daily quest pops up, it clicks that. It may miss a cycle entirely, or it might take you in. It depends on, what the damn thing decides to do. But even if it misses a cycle, it'll make its way back to hitting depart, and you should be good to go. So you can do it while you're sleeping.
I used to wake up in the middle of the night and go click it.
Yeah. Well, that's because you're crazy, man, Clake. Anyway, next question.
I have one from Smooth JK, and he says, other than Orlando and Tidus, how come no hype about other units rated in the high 90s in JP? And honestly, Smooth JK, I'm assuming that's just the way the Beast's community is. I mean, as soon as I got in the game, all I heard about was how good Orlando was, how good Lightning was, and that's just how it is, As far as the other units are concerned, I mean, are they game breaking? I'm assuming Tillith is. I'm assuming maybe Rim is pretty good, but I mean, I think if you pull Orlando or Tidus, it's a game breaking. Your game, it's over. It's right. It's like I'm assuming that's why, and I don't know. I mean, that's my whole point of it. It's kind of like a community driven thing. So like as a new player comes in, they hear about Lightning, they hear about Orlando, and they hear about Tidus. That's all everybody talks about. So it's just like a growing thing. The hype ball keeps going down the line, teaching new people things like that.
Indeed. All right, I see a question, a joke question. I think this is, but I'm taking it serious. Okay. Kamashi says, if you see me in PvP, will you fight me or run away? And I'm going to destroy your world if I can, bro.
Yeah, Kamashi's done. I mean, I don't want to say it's Kamashi and be me, but I think Kamashi's going to be ranked 10,000th, 400th million in the world. After I get done with him, he's over.
It's over for you, bro. You are a challenge. You're our Moby Dick. You know what I'm saying? All right, you're up. Go ahead.
Kill says, hey, Tech and Clay, one thing you guys might have missed about the new shield is that it's a small shield, and it has the highest defense for a class who can't equip big ones, and it's great for physical DPS who is fighting undead. Yeah, Kill, that's very true. I did know that it was a small shield, helping out those little weaklings picking it up. That's so very true. that's where it is. I understand.
I'll agree with that. And in that case, you could then equip it on somebody and give them the undead killer stat that can actually do damage. But I'm sorry, I always think about my units and not other people's units in some cases. I would have dual wield on my main attacker, so the shield would not get equipped, which I think Clake is the same way. But for anybody who's running that and doesn't have dual wield and has and is trying to give them a defense boost, it's definitely worth it. Psychic Motions says, as you both know, I'm free to play. I have 2 Lightnings, Tella, Ludmil, and Mustadio in my team. What do you think? Or do you think that is a solid team?
I told him no, but I was messing with him.
Oh, you were messing with him?
I said no. But I mean, Ludmil, those characters. I think he's almost trolling in a way.
He seems like he's trolling because 2 Lightnings. Come on now.
Yeah, you got 2 Lightnings on your team. I mean, honestly, it's whatever. Yeah, I mean, you gotta build a real team with a tank and a healer and support things like that. But 2 Lightnings, it's over. GG. GG.
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You guys are thinking too much like whales. Not everyone, and probably the majority of people, will not have 3 dual wields. What is that in reference to, Zenny?
Yeah, I don't know. What are we talking? Yeah, I mean, he's probably right. I do think slightly like a whale, I guess. I don't know. I thought I just saw a question in here. What's better, Gefgarion or Leo? Because Gefgarion seems better to me as he has overall better stats. Ace. I think it depends on what you're doing with them. Gefgarion's not built as a tank, if I'm not mistaken, correct? He's a straight Gefgarion is a straight physical damage dealer, whereas Leo is built to be a tank. If I have that right, am I right, Clake?
What does it now? Say it again.
Gefgarion
is more of a DPS. Yeah. So Leo he would be like a tank DPS, like physical damage dealer, whereas Gefgarion's just a damage dealer.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it depends on what you're using the characters for. If you're looking for a tank, I would definitely use Leo. If you're looking for someone to do straight damage, you would use Gafgarion. But it's entirely up to you. You can set your characters up however you want. What else we got here?
Is it true that you need the correct TMs to make Orlando shine? And if so, what are they? You're going to need double Excalibur or double Greatsword, a really strong Greatsword, and dual wield to make Orlando shine. And Excalibur is the one to do it.
Yep. You can go another route. I think the Holy Lance, if you from doing the Earth Shrine or not Earth Shrine, the Earth Keys, that isn't a suitable replacement if you don't have Excalibur or another holy weapon, because I think he requires holy or light based weapons in order to truly get his abilities going. But Holy Lance, or if in the future they put out another weapon that has holy on it, that those are acceptable. He just won't be as phenomenal as an Excalibur, Orlando. But yeah,
Primal Snow. You could actually follow the exact way that I set up in my setup video for a TM macro for Mimu as I had on my one for Nox. It's like the exact same program almost. So I agree. I mean, I just think it's the exact same way. You do it the exact same way. So I currently will not be looking to make another Mimu video. No.
Okay. I got a question from Omnis Lupus. He says, thoughts on future of double hand given what we know about global to JP differences. My thoughts on that are, we are not going... Well, take it back. I think that even with the differences, according to the way the game is designed right now for global, as long as you have a stat from a different source, usually it can stack. Will double hand work that way? I'm hoping so, because with, say, Garland has double hand naturally as a 5-star. Once he gets a 6-star, he has the ability slots opened up that he can start equipping stuff. Could you put another double hand on him possibly to up his damage 100%? I think that would be... I think it's a possibility, but is it necessary? Probably not, because you can, with say take Gafgarion's TMs. Once you, at some point you're gonna pull some freaking Gafgarion. He's a low ranking unit compared to all the other 5-star bases. You know what I mean? He is a 4-star base, but you can pull him. You can pull him, especially once they do that change where no more shadows and freaking Lonnies and Galufs. Once that change comes into effect, Gafgarion will become more accessible to people, which means you can farm his TM much more frequently. And then when you get TMs like that and you put it on somebody with double hand, instead of it being 30 attack, it's now 45 attack. So if you can equip 2 of those because you have multiple Gafgarions and you took the time to either Mimu that thing up or manual it up, however you're doing it, you can make him into a very badass character. And I don't know if it will stack. I hope it does, because that will put Gafgarion, or not Gafgarion, that will put Garland into a whole different realm. You know, like he's getting 100% damage boost after that. But we'll see. See.
I have one more question I can answer, and then I'm going to have to go tech because of the whole visiting the in-laws. But it's from TF. He says, if you don't have any TM and don't macro, is that ripped for the entire game? Because it seems people make TM a must-have thing, but if you aren't doing that, is it pointless to even play the game? TF, I think really the question, that question is kind of weird, because why do you play the game? What do you mean, is it pointless to play the game if you don't have TMs? Are you saying, is it like you're not going to be able to beat things? Is that what you mean? I think you are going to be able to beat a lot of things without TMs. I mean, the TMs are, as stated in the chat, they're a luxury. They're there to help you break the game. They're there to be something that makes the game a lot easier for you. But I do believe you're going to be able to do a lot of the content, if not all the content, without TMs. The TMs just make it a lot easier and make your life that much better. Let you pound your chest a little bit about how much you can do, how much damage you can do, things like that. But it really depends on how you play the game, man. If you're in the game to, you know, beat everything, you know, go through the story, have fun collecting units, not, you know, if you're playing the game not to be the best, but, you know, do the best you can, then TMs are nothing, man. Some people, TMs are everything. They want to have the best characters. They want to have the best, you know, equipment they can have on that. So in the end, again, it's like, why do you play this game? If you're playing it to beat the stuff, then sure, man, you don't need TMs at all. Like, you'll be able to do it, I'm pretty sure, most of everything, if not everything, without the TMs. But, you know, again, it goes about how you want to play the game.
I completely agree with that. Having TMs, as Clake said there, is definitely a luxury, and it is not a easy luxury to have because you have to farm these things forever. So by game design, you're not supposed to really have these for quite a while. If you went through the game normally without ever doing the same team over and over and over all day long, you wouldn't get these TMs for months. Maybe not even a year by the way it's designed. Like if you just logging on to do your dailies and then, after you've completed all the other content, you wouldn't get your TMs forever. And it's not going to stop you from enjoying the game. So no, definitely not. TMs are definitely not the end all. But anyway, all right, so that was it, yeah? Last question?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
That's
all right,
it.
Clay. Well, go ahead and say goodbye then, man.
All right, guys. This is Clay Exult signing out. If you guys want to watch my stream, I'm normally streaming Monday through Thursday, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on Twitter for updates on that. Like, I didn't get to stream this Thursday. You can you can subscribe to me on YouTube for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius guides and content at youtube.com/c/Clay Exult, or you can probably just search me Clay Exult on YouTube. And it was great being here with Tech. It was great talking about this stuff, buddy.
Indeed, and I'm Tech Maki, as the name says up there. You can definitely see me I think I stream every night between 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. EST. You can also find me on Twitter, twitter.com/techmaki. YouTube channel is somewhere on my Discord, or my Nightbot puts up there. It's not a full channel yet because I need more subscribers, so go ahead and subscribe. But you can also hit up my Discord, and I think you can hit up Clake's Discord. We have our little chats if you want to get a hold of us during the day. We also post information there to update our viewers, and so yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for stopping by for the second episode of Enter the Farplane, and we will definitely be back next Friday, every Friday. So it should be good fun. And if you want, after this, I'm doing my Ramza pulls, so this is gonna be fun.
Gonna be fun. Good luck, Tech.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. All right, with that, guys, take it easy.
Later.
All right, so Click, you sticking around for these polls, man?
Yeah, I can stick around just for the pools, and then it's gonna be like pushing it to the wire, if that makes any sense. So I can stick around for the pools, but
I got you, man.
That's it.
I got you. All right, cool. Sounds good, man. All right, let me stop the stream and start the stream back up, and we'll get this going here. Ho.